Domo Arigato, Mr. Morimoto. That's right. We are finally going to Morimoto Asia to do a dining review. Hello, everybody. I am Ryno. Welcome to this week's Disney Dining Show. I recently dined at Disney Springs all alone, and it's just me. I'm just kidding.
What?
I was there with a group of wonderful people who are all in this room with me. Let me introduce them. First up, we got Dreams Unlimited travel agent Hannah Anderson.
It's me. Hi.
The terrific travel agent Teresa Eccles.
Hey.
Also employed by Dreams Unlimited Travel. And our theme park correspondent Chloe Ferreira.
Hey, howdy, hey.
Her. We are here. So you're like, hey, what are you doing in the studio again? Well, we were at Morimoto Asia, and this was on us. There was a little bit of like there was a mood, and so we were like, you know what? Let's just take a beat. We'll go back to the studio, and we will record our thoughts and feelings there, which we like to do. We like to mix it up. Sometimes we like to record it in the spot. Sometimes we take a little bit, and we come back and do it in the studio to kind of reflect on it, which I like because generally I like to know if anyone got food poisoning after a dining review.
Wow.
I don't believe anybody did here. Speak now or forever hold your
Hasn't happened to
poisoning.
you at another Disney restaurant then?
Sure has. Craig and I both got sick. I wouldn't say it was food poisoning, but Craig and I both got sick after our review of the steakhouse at
71.
Yeah, Steakhouse 71.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
It was the burger, too, which is my favorite burger at
You've been
Disney.
back since, though.
I sure have, and I got the burger again.
darn right.
I don't think I got the burger, or I don't think I got the burger when I was there. I think Craig did. I thought I don't remember.
Cool
Either way.
beans.
What did we eat at this restaurant?
What did we eat at this restaurant? Well, that's not how we're going to do it. We got to talk about the restaurant first before we do. So, Morimoto Asia has both a sit-down area, like a dine-in restaurant. It's actually got many facets to it. So, it's got the dine-in restaurant. It's got the street food area, which is outside where you can get some of the favorite items to go. There's like a little covered area out there with plenty of tables and chairs and things like that. And then, did you know it's got a little sushi door room around the side? Yeah. I don't make the type of money where I could go and ever dine at the Forbidden Lounge sushi bar door, but I'd like to dream maybe I could someday.
I actually did not know that until just now.
Yeah, it's if you're going, so if you're looking at Morimoto Asia, like you've come over the little bridge next to Sprinkles, assuming it's still there, where like Gideon's is behind Morimoto Asia. Well, no one's there. I don't know. There's a door there that's like hidden, and it takes you right up to the sushi bar.
I've seen that, but I didn't realize that was like an exclusive experience.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was.
But you
Wow.
can go in the front door and go up to the sushi bar too, right?
You can in fact use the front door as well, because that's how I got the pictures and the photos of the sushi bars. I just walked up the stairs. I don't know the reasoning for it. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't even touch the door, so I don't even know if it was locked. We'll never know. So we went there at lunchtime, which was definitely on the quieter side of things. I want to talk about the vibe of the restaurant, because I feel like a big thing for me sometimes as you get in there, and we've talked about it before. We've like when we went to the Plaza dining review at Magic Kingdom, we felt like the vibe was definitely not. It was too tiny. It was loud. It was crowded. It was tight. How did you feel about Morimoto Asia?
When we went for lunch hours on this weekday, it was really chill inside. There weren't a whole lot of tables with people at them. It was pretty quiet. And I mean, overall, I've been inside Morimoto before for a few times and had food there, and I've enjoyed it. It feels like, I don't know, like this new age of Disney Springs, kind of. Like the new, I'm going to compare it to the background music loop of Disney Springs. It's like this clean, like kind of like jazzy colored, like jazzy covers of Disney songs, like upbeat kind of feeling. And that's how I feel in Morimoto. Like it's laid back, but it can feel upbeat, if that makes sense.
It's funny you say that, because I think that Morimoto Asia is one of the better areas at Disney Springs. So if you're not familiar, the transition from downtown Disney, it was downtown Disney and then it became Disney Springs, is that Morimoto Asia actually is occupying the space of Mannequins nightclub
from Pleasure Island.
There you
quite
go.
a bit, yes, which had like a rotating dance floor, but it was a 2-floored building, and it had the I don't know what the term is for when it's like the cutout up top, like the second level looks down at the first level, sort of a thing.
Yeah.
And it's maintained that sort of the bones of that building, I feel like.
It has,
But when you go inside, even from the exterior of Morimoto to the inside of this restaurant, so the story in terms of Disney Springs is that this was like the old bottling plant. Like it was I don't know what it was bottling specifically. If it was water, if it was water from Florida, don't be drinking that. But looping back to what you were saying is that I think it carries through the storytelling of what this new Disney Springs story is about. Being like repurposed areas of this old like town or whatever.
Yeah.
It's in there. It's very well because when you go in, you can see all of these glass bottles that have like a conveyor belt sort of thing that is moving throughout the restaurant. And I feel like when you look throughout the restaurant, if you are aware of that, you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. And if you don't know, it just actually looks like really nice design in there.
Yeah.
But,
and the cascading chandeliers that go from like both stories are nice to take in. I like personally sitting on the second floor. I have in the past. This time we sat on the ground level, but it was still pretty cool little spot. We had like a half booth.
Yeah, it has a very nice like open kitchen. It's like it's got the big giant clear glass. You can look into that. What's that called? Is it open
kitchen?
Open kitchen? Is that? Did I use the right term for that? Whatever.
Yeah,
it
I
is.
think
You
so.
know what I mean.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and then the it also has downstairs, like when you first walk into the right, there is a bar area too. So if you haven't made dining reservations, you can also like in there. They have some unique menu items in there too. I think there's like ahi, like poke nachos or something like that, and things. So it's definitely has a very specific vibe that I feel like I know how you described it with like that jazzy sort of thing. For me, I'm going to say it's like classy without feeling intimidating.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's laid back class.
Teresa, you were talking about it. You like dining here, right?
I do. I've been there numerous times, maybe 8 or 9 times, I guess, over the years.
Yeah.
And I like it. I've eaten upstairs there's a few, I think there's 2, like private rooms that you can reserve on the second floor that look down. From where we were sitting, from where I was sitting, I could see them. They were up like on the balcony. So I would call that a balcony.
Yeah.
Around the top.
Yeah.
So there's several rooms up there. I've eaten in the exact bench we were in. I've had that seat several times.
Yeah.
And I've had tables more towards the front. I've also eaten in the bar area. And I enjoy it. I do find it very classy, but very approachable. It's not... I'm not intimidated walking in there after I've been shopping or in the parks or whatever. If you go in the evening, I might want to dress up a little bit more.
Yeah.
Just because,
I think it's like a good place, like a good date night spot in terms of that, because that feeling you're talking about, you go in and yeah, definitely during the day because it's a little quieter and things like that. But it's got. I mean, Chloe already said this like cascading chandelier that's really classy.
The lighting at night. Yeah, it's all very beautiful.
And the walls are like darker colored walls. I think they're like black with like all these like designs, and they have these cool pictures. And the tables are like wood. So it does have that very like clean, but also inviting. And
comfortable. Yeah.
And it does definitely, I agree with you. It's one of those where like you could get dressed up and I don't think you'd be out of place. And I don't think you'd be out of place if you went like that either. But had everybody dined there before? I know Teresa had talked about it. So everyone had been there before. It had been a while for me. It is actually a place I have done a date night there before, because I feel like it has some unique offerings. It has, we can talk about the menu here now. It's got a little bit of those like small plates and soups. They've got dim sum. There's like meat dishes. I think one of their like signature things they're like kind of known for is the Morimoto Peking duck, which no one would get with me, and that's fine.
Oh, I had it
last time I
before.
was there with my whole family about a year ago. My son got that, and it looked so good, and he raved about it. I didn't try it.
Yeah.
But what I also like about it is my husband, who's very picky, and I don't want to say picky, he's very limited. He doesn't want sauces. I think he got the orange chicken without the orange. And
Oh, wow.
So it was basically just chicken. Pieces
Like
of fried
chicken, yeah.
Which was really good just by itself. That with rice, and he was happy with that.
Yeah.
He wasn't really happy with the price when we left, but,
Yeah. We should say it's not an inexpensive restaurant
it's
by
not.
any means. Yeah. So they do, which is nice because when we went at lunchtime, like I said, we were there earlier in the day. We actually found out that they have some lunch specials. It's a weekday lunch and sushi menu that they have that says on the website, it says it's offered from 11:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. And I think we were there at like 11:30, honestly.
We were,
yeah, because it was we went like kind of right at opening.
They also do a weekend lunch.
Oh,
How about that?
really?
Yeah, it's a little bit different. It doesn't have the lunch combos like it does during the week, but the prices are a little bit lower, so it's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, so why don't we just dive right in? I'm going to talk about some of the. I'm just going to give the shareable things because we got. If you know me, and you know when I find something I like, I will not shut up about the thing that I like, and. I went one night with some friends. This was like a couple of years ago or whatever. I don't have any friends anymore.
Wait,
we went.
You don't have any friends?
No.
Hey,
You
me
always
neither.
make that joke about me.
Maybe I'm really maybe it's because I'm really the one hurting. I went and did this bar thing that I didn't know they had, that bar area that you could just walk in. I thought it was just an area you had to be at. I don't know. You live, you learn, whatever Alanis Morissette was saying in that song. And when I was here, we were like, oh, we'll get this sake sangria, which they have on the menu. And I thought, well, it's X amount of money for a glass. Well, there's or you could get the carafe. And I remember getting this carafe, and they were like, it'll have 3 to 4 glasses. And it was like 6 to 7 glasses or whatever. And I was like, I think it is one of the best values of a drink you can get. I'm going to read to you what it says on the menu, and I'm going to zoom in so I can see it. I can't zoom in, so excuse me while I squint at this menu.
Need your monocle.
I know, for
How
real.
classy.
It's just written so small. This is like a 4-point font or something. So the sake sangria says it's sake, light white wine, plum wine, Asian pears, apple, tangerine juice. A glass is $18, but a carafe that is listed as serving 3 to 4 is $48. There were 4 of us, so we shared this drink.
Happily.
I think we each easily had a full glass and then some.
Yeah.
definitely,
Yeah, we did.
definitely.
It was delicious. It was very light and refreshing.
Very
and-
refreshing because I don't
It
drink
was good.
alcohol like
Yeah.
some people in
Yeah.
the room.
Oh, wow. Wow.
But I do enjoy
Martini
this.
Mom? No.
Yeah.
You don't get a nickname like that unless you yeah, you liked it a lot. You
I do
were
like it a
It was
lot,
good.
yeah.
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 And had you had that before, Chloe?
I hadn't. No, it was my first time having it there. I really liked it. Like we said, it was crisp, light, refreshing.
Yeah.
I'd get it again for sure.
Yeah, it was. I think. And Hannah, you enjoyed.
Yeah, I thought it was a great value, and I do like sake, but I also like that it tasted like sake, but it wasn't overpowering.
Yeah.
Like it definitely had notes of like pear and that fruity kind of. Yeah, you could probably drink the whole carafe if you wanted to.
Some.
Honestly.
Look at you, Teresa.
Yeah, right.
I think I mean I'm going to repeat it. I think this is one of the best bangs for your buck on at Disney Springs, maybe on Disney property in terms of like a shareable alcoholic beverage specifically. It does feel very nice, very light, especially, even in our fall season, moving into winter, whatever, it's still going to be like 80 to 90 degrees some days here. And this was really a thing where you're like, on a hot day when you need a break, I always this is the first thing I think of if we're at Lake Springs. I'm like, oh, we could go and split this. And I feel like there's some like sort of really nice about like splitting something. It makes me feel like those gals on TV who will split a bottle of wine. I'm like, I'm one of the gals.
Oh,
Ryno feeling like you
We're
can
one of
share
your
with
gals.
people.
it was
Yeah.
a very Sex in the City moment, to be
Yeah.
honest. At Morimoto Asia,
Yeah.
Disney Springs hottest club.
Hottest club. It has everything. And so so we all liked that, and I think we'd all would get that again. Heck, I would have got more than one. Heck. Okay. We also wanted to try an appetizer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that we had finally, after much heated debate, there was slapping, there was tickling.
Hair pulling.
Yeah.
Paint the picture.
There was kicks to the unmentionables. It's wherever it needed to be. We decided, I said, because everybody had eaten here before, but I was like, have you all had these ribs. I'm not a meat on the bone guy.
Neither am I. This was the first time I had ribs in a long time, Ryno. You got it out of me. It was good. They were really good.
Ripped it right out of you.
them- Yeah.
This Adam
you
took
tickled
that
my
each
ribs
rib.
right out.
Yeah,
Wow.
good choice. Good choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these I was like, we got to try the Morimoto spare ribs. They are pork ribs, cilantro, get out of here, and hoisin sweet chili glaze. So you can get them in the appetizer portion, which is the 3 ribs. That's $18. I know that's like, wow, that's steep. That's $6 a rib, right? $6
Yes,
a rib,
that is
yeah.
correct.
And then you could do the half rack of ribs, which is 6 ribs, and that is $35. So you save $1 if you want to. But it was one of those where I was worried maybe I hyped this up. You know how when you have you try a thing
Yeah.
that's really good and you're like, oh, it's not going to be as good this time. It was really, really good. This is like I said, I don't like meat on the bone. This like came right off, but it was like it had this like great texture to it. I feel like that hoisin sweet chili glaze was like nice. It wasn't like spicy necessarily, but it had like so much flavor to it. I think this for me is like a do not miss. Like this is the signature thing, I think, for me.
This was easily my favorite dish that we had. Spoiler alert. I would definitely get this again as like part of my meal, maybe like a side of vegetables or something. They were delicious. I couldn't get enough of them, and I can't wait to go back to get them again.
Yeah.
You can order them outside too.
Oh,
Yeah, you can get the ribs from the walk-up menu. So,
Nice.
and I think they're priced the same, but you can get other items out there too. So it's just quick and easy. But even if you, like Chloe was saying, if you're not somebody who typically orders ribs, these are completely different, and they're not super fatty. They're delicious.
Yeah, I like, God, Lord. I'm like, do I want to go get them right now? We also got one other appetizer. We got pork dumplings, which come 4 pieces. There were 4 of us. We're like, great. Everyone gets a little dumpling. So we got pork, mushroom, Napa cabbage, and scallion. They were $16.
They were nothing special.
They're fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They were fine.
They were good. They
Yeah.
were just, yeah.
I think
don't need them again.
I think for $16, especially when
It's
this is street
yeah.
food,
Yeah.
like not, like this is supposed to be. It's that street food, even as you elevate it or whatever, it's still like there should have been at least 6. I think for $16. I don't know. It's just me.
Yeah,
4 feels
no,
cheap.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think if you'd order them, you'd be fine. But it was like, I don't want to be like, you had a dumpling, you've had a dumpling. It's just one of those things where it's like, it's hard sitting next to the rib. You're like, this thing is very
Or
unique.
other things on the appetizer menu that I'd be willing to try for $16 and that again, because they were a little boring.
Yeah, for sure. Chloe, what did you get to eat for lunch? Why don't you take us
For
away here?
lunch, I was between quite a few things, to be honest. And I opted for a shrimp tempura sushi roll because I often get shrimp tempura sushi rolls at any sushi places that I frequent. And so I felt like I would be able to, I don't know, compare it to my favorites and maybe see if I could find a new favorite roll here. Shrimp tempura roll was $16. It had shrimp tempura, asparagus, and spicy mayo. I asked for extra spicy mayo on the side because I'm that kind of girl.
Oh, I love a spicy mayo.
I love a good spicy mayo. One of the few condiments that I like on weirdly.
She don't like ketchup, but she
I
likes
don't.
spicy mayo.
No, I don't like a lot of things. But spicy mayo is A-okay in my book. I don't know if they waited for everybody else's food to be ready, but when my roll came out, the shrimp tempura, the tempura portion was soggy.
Ew.
And that's not good. The tempura should be crisp and hot, perfectly crisp around the shrimp, even if it's surrounded by the rice roll. I've had it so many other places. So I was bummed that mine came out pretty lukewarm and it was soggy. Like there was no good crunch to it. I don't think I'd get it again, especially for $16. It was a little small. I don't know. I was kind of bummed about that. But as part of my meal, I also ordered the Kung Pao cauliflower. This was also $16. This is flash fried cauliflower floret, pepper, carrot, mushroom, and tobanjan chili. These were really good. I shared these with the table because it was a pretty big helping of them, and we kind of like shared other things, and along with the appetizers, I was already full by the time the cauliflower came out. But they were really tasty. I could definitely do without the carrot and mushrooms in the dish. I felt like that was kind of filler, so they didn't give you more cauliflower in it for $16. Like I just want a huge plate of that cauliflower. It was tasty, so I would get that again, maybe for myself.
Yeah, I would say like looking at the prices and also like I love to go to sushi restaurants. It's literally like I'd eat it any day of the week. It's one of those things where I'm always just like, it's the first thing I'll throw out. When like, what are we thinking? Sushi? And I'm like, I didn't think, I feel like price wise, it's kind of on par for like what you would find around Orlando or whatever. I mean, in terms of that, I feel like for $16 though, I think I would, cauliflower was good. I think that would be the option where I'd be like, I think that one was the better.
Yeah.
The more quality, right? Like, because I tried them all. I was like,
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't try your shrimp tempura, but your review makes me never want to try your shrimp tempura.
Yeah. One thing I will note, one of my favorite places to get sushi on property is Kimonos at the Walt Disney World Swan, I believe it is. They have one of the best shrimp tempura rolls ever. It's actually coconut shrimp. It's a coconut shrimp roll.
Ooh, fun.
I love that roll so much. So I haven't been there in a couple of years. I want to go back. We should go back sometime. And
I don't think we really ever have covered the
food at Swan and Dolphin
dining,
is
so it might
pretty
be a good
spectacular.
idea.
Yeah, we should.
Teresa, what about you? What did you get?
Well, I got the thing that I always get because I just love it and I dream about it and I think about it and
Rightly so.
I would love it. I got the Morimoto Buribop, which is Korean-style yellowtail rice bowl served in a hot clay pot and prepared tableside with egg yolk. Okay, so they bring it out in a 10,000 degree clay pot and they tell you immediately, don't touch it.
Yeah.
And then they prepare it in front of you while you're sitting there. And it's amazing the way they do it. You know, the yellowtail's in the middle. They move it to the sides. You can see it cooking. You can feel it sizzling. You can feel the heat. The flavors in this and the little sauce that they put over it and the egg yolk, you all tried it, right?
Oh, well, yeah. I definitely tried yours because I'm one of those people, too. If bibimbap, especially served in a stone bowl, is on any menu,
Yes.
I will. There's a place like in the town next to where I grew up that every time we go now, it's a Korean place and they do like a stone bowl, like a dulcet bibimbap, and it is like comes out sizzling, and I just love it.
As opposed to your shrimp.
Yeah,
mine is steaming hot.
Yeah.
And yes, I did touch the bowl eventually, and I don't know. I find it's comfort food to me.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love the fact that they're fixing it in front of me and the fact that I know it's going to be hot, obviously. And just the flavors of the rice and the fish and
I feel like you got the dish to get at
Yeah, you did.
Morimoto.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
the presentation and the taste, everything was really good about
and it was
it.
$36, which I didn't have a problem with the price every time I've ever gotten it. And I think you're getting your money's worth. You got quite a bit of food.
Well, it's a quality. I felt like the yellowtail specifically was like a quality cut
Yes.
of yellowtail too. So you're getting. I feel like they're using the better ingredients with it and stuff too. And yeah, it was very good. It is one of those. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Yeah, I got to touch
I
this
gotta
bowl.
know.
I got to touch this bowl.
Yeah.
I got to know.
Well, I was going to ask you, would you get it again? But you just said you've had it before and you would.
I
get
have.
It again.
I've probably had it
Yeah.
at least 6 times over the years, and I absolutely love it. I mean, I've tried other things. The ribs I absolutely love.
Yeah.
I've tried their sushi. It's okay. I'm not a sushi going out all the time person, but I do like it. And yeah, but I would definitely get the buribop again.
I think isn't that the dish that
again.
made Morimoto famous?
I think it is.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
That's like the signature menu item.
Buribop. Bop,
Yeah.
bop,
I had no
bop.
idea. I
original
legit
Iron
thought it was like
Chef.
the chicken thing. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Well, Hannah, what did you get?
So I got one of
I
the...
also said bibimbap, and I don't think that was the.
Bop.
So it's all called different things, different places, and that's where I'm like, I don't know. This does on the menu say buribop.
It's buribop.
Yeah. I'm gonna what?
At
Sorry.
first, I thought you said bippity boppity or like something like that. I was like,
No, I'll what Hannah, tell us
go.
what you got, and I'll send you guys the screenshot of what the one like at home that I
Okay.
have that I was referring to because I think that's online, so I can show you. But yeah, Hannah, tell us because I think you got a lunch special, huh?
I did, and I thought it was a very good deal. So I got the pork katsu curry set, and it's $24, and it comes with Japanese-style curry rice with pork katsu, and then you get to pick. You get to pick on the kanikama roll. You get 4 pieces of it, or fried chicken dumplings. You get 3 of those, but it's an either-or situation. And then you can choose miso soup or the house salad with yuzu dressing. So I went with the kanikama roll, and it's okay. It's basically crab. It's like imitation crab, and I think avocado and what else? And cucumber. So it kind of standard, nothing memorable. I mean, I thought the flavor was good, but there's only 4 pieces of it. And then I got the house salad with the yuzu dressing, which again was, I think, solid, but nothing wild. I will say the pork katsu was delicious. I thought the flavor from the curry was really good. The pork was fried perfectly, and it was still tender, and like you could almost like cut it with a fork. And the portion size of that was huge. Like that was a normal, I think, like dinner size portion of the pork katsu. So for $24, that with, you know, the super salad and then the sushi was good. And it gave me a little bit of everything. Like I liked having a salad and having a little bit of sushi, and then having that, you know, warm curry dish. So I think especially for the value, that is something I would get again. I do think Teresa had the winning dish. And I also would get the ribs again. And let's not forget the sake sangria. That's a must.
Girl, yeah.
Now. Thank you for enlightening me on that.
Listen,
Welcome me to the club.
I think it's when you got more than one person there, you go for the sake sangria. Or like you said, you each get your own carafe, whatever.
Yeah, no
It's
judgment.
your business, mind your business. Drive and drink responsibly.
Well, I can't imagine getting just the one serving of it. You know, what did you say that was like $18?
It's $18
Yeah.
for one glass.
in the
some
same
money.
glasses we had, right?
Yep.
So it would be, what a waste.
Yeah.
Yeah, because literally,
One for $30 more, I could get
yeah.
3 or 4 at least.
Well, because then
Yeah.
you got to think, if you even like it a little bit and you get a second glass, you're up to 36. You're like, you might as
Yeah.
well just get the thing and just
Yeah.
whatever. You know, it's everybody's choice. It's everybody's
Yeah. Or
choice.
invite a friend over. Be like, hey,
Hey,
come meet with me. Come drink with
I
me.
already said I don't have any friends. What are you rubbing it
Well,
in?
make friends. Where are
Out
your
of what?
friends?
Out of what? Make them
Your
out of what?
shining
Sad.
personality.
They can be invisible friends.
They can be invisible. Just make them up. Make them up. Well, I also did a lunch weekday special, I believe. Or did I? No, I did a course lunch set. So I got, so in this, you can get a ramen. So I did the ramen set because I feel like we decided we weren't doing the duck. And listen, I'll try ramen everywhere. I love ramen. I love to go to ramen places or everything like that. If you're ever in Florida, Domu, Domu, is
Oh, so
delicious.
Like Domo Chibi, same.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
that's their quick service restaurant. Yeah, which I think they just changed the name just so people wouldn't get confused to just
Did they?
like Chibi. Yeah.
Chibi ramen.
Oh, it's just Chibi.
Yeah, it's just called Chibi
Yeah.
Ramen
I still
now, but
call
it
it
is the
Domo
same
Chibi.
company. Yeah, phenomenal ramen. Their wings are incredible.
Yes.
Domo wings, yeah, and they do the bites at the Chibi.
Ooh, with the rice. Oh,
Yeah,
those-
cool.
And the
I think
egg
we actually
salad
did that last
sandwiches.
time. The little
Yeah.
sando.
good.
Anyway, this isn't a review of Domu.
Yeah.
Might have to go home.
I don't know.
Let's just
Yeah.
go.
Let's.
Get that on the way home tonight.
yeah.
Go to
I know.
Kimonos,
It's
go to
not far from
Domu.
here. Yeah.
Tell them we sent you. But so that's the thing is I love ramen, so I will happily always try that. So the ramen set is your choice of tongatsu or duck ramen with a choice of a kanikama roll, which is 4 pieces, or fried chicken dumpling for 3 pieces, and it includes a house salad with the yuzu dressing. This is $22. I think the ramen was like by itself. I can tell you that how much it costs right here. I think
While you're looking for that, $22, and that included 3 dumplings. When we got 4 dumplings for 16,
yeah.
that's
Ooh, good point,
wild.
Chloe.
And
Yeah.
the tongatsu, which is the ramen I'm talking about, $20 by itself. So
Wow.
if you just order the tongatsu, it's $20. So for
Sound the
$2,
alarms on that
I know,
deal.
baby, honk honk, we've got the deals.
I feel like the appetizer menu should maybe be a little altered for lunch menu hours.
Right.
Like that's kind of insane.
Yeah,
Or if you're going for lunch, just like purposefully order off the lunch menu.
don't get any appetizers
Yeah,
besides the
don't do
ribs,
it.
of course.
yeah. I feel like
Yeah. Don't be dumb.
I went with the fried chicken dumpling, and I thought about sushi roll, but Chloe had gotten the sushi, and I know we had done the steamed dumpling, so I was like, well, let's see what the fried ones are like. They were okay. I felt like the fried dumplings were like, they weren't bad, but it was just kind of like, I don't really need this. Like,
Kind of like our appetizer.
yeah, it was really just like mid.
I feel like they're not making the dumplings there. I feel like,
Oh, they have to be.
you think?
Yeah, I
Because
think
they're
so.
identical to the ones I buy in the freezer
I
section.
know.
Oh, no.
They
They
tasted like that
Just
too.
like it. And I don't want to say
Yeah.
that they're not doing that.
Yeah.
But like you said, it was just like, oh, I
The
can go home
Iron
and make
Chef.
these myself.
You guys
Come
had soup
on.
dumplings? where they like you
Oh,
put them
yes,
in the spoon
yes,
and
yeah,
think,
yeah.
those are good.
Yeah,
But yeah, these were just kind of like, I don't know. I think I'd maybe go with the roll. It's just I didn't want the kanikama roll. I forgot what's in that, but it was one
It's
of those.
imitation
I was like,
crab.
yeah.
You love imitation crab.
Wait, it was imitation crab,
Yeah, girl.
honey? Well, I don't know
know.
why I picked fried dumpling.
Crab
then
with a
over the
K?
thing.
Yeah, crab.
Next time.
I like crab with a K. I
do
don't like
too.
crab with a C.
Really?
yeah.
Yeah, it's like
He talks about it all the
makes me
time.
feel
I accept
weird.
all.
do you like
crab
fish cakes?
types.
Yeah, I
like
do too.
in your
in my ramen.
ramen?
Yeah,
Like
it
the little
doesn't really do
triangle, little
anything to it
pieces
to
of
me.
fish?
No, I like
Like
the
a fish paste cake.
Oh,
the
I've
one-
actually never.
They're
yeah,
usually a
I've never opted
circle,
for that.
and they're a design on it.
Okay, no, there's another one. They're like, because I buy them at the Asian store. It's like little
Yeah,
frozen triangles,
they almost look like little hash brown cakes, right?
Yeah,
Is
but
that
really
one? Yeah,
floppy,
yeah.
and very fishy. And I've tried them a couple times, and
I don't like anything that's very fishy because for me, like, mentally, that's like, oh, that's not good.
yeah. And then I watched how they made it on YouTube, and it was like, okay,
Yeah.
it's like a paste. And then
well,
they
we still eat hot
boil
dogs, so
Yeah, sure do.
yeah.
So the Tonkatsu ramen, I thought this was like, it was a pretty big portion of the ramen. It's hard because, again, like I said, I feel like Domo is the best ramen in Central Florida. This did not convince me otherwise. I wouldn't even say this gave it a run for its money. It was fine. It was fine. Like the broth, like I could taste I thought the pork inside of it was like nice. It was cooked nice. It had all the elements there. It's just like, for me, there's two things that really, really influence how I feel about the ramen, and that is the noodle and it is the broth. And obviously you're like, idiot, that's what ramen's made out of. Obviously that better influence you. But the thing I like about Domo is I believe they're making all those noodles in-house and things like that. And I'm like, it's a thickness and a texture and a thing. The noodles here, they were fine. It was just like a very I'm not really thinking about it sort of a thing. And
the
then
the broth has to have so many layers to it.
Oh, yeah.
And flavors. It's like when you try to make your own broth for ramen, it never turns out.
No, never.
Yeah.
You know.
You know what's crazy too? It's funny. I'll still say like, "Oh, I love ramen. Let's go get ramen." Everyone always thinks I mean the $1 packet that you would buy.
no.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
Come on.
and I'm like, fancy ramen idiots. Like, no, I don't mean to call people idiots. That's what I'll say to you in real life. Not on the show.
I mean, that
no.
ramen has a time and a place, but we're not
Oh
going
no,
somewhere to
honestly.
get it.
Yeah, it's called when I'm sick. Because you know what I don't like? Chicken noodle soup.
I don't either. Yeah.
Tastes like sick. It's gross.
What the heck?
like
Tastes
sick.
like
It's
sick.
because you only have it when you're sick. So every time I get anywhere closer, I'm like, oh, it tastes like sick.
We've learned a lot about you today.
I know.
Ryno.
Wow.
I like
Thank you
that
for
though.
taking us on
It's very
So
specific.
journey.
I don't really know how I can say more about the ramen wasn't bad. It was just one of those where I was like, I wish maybe I'd tried something a little bit more exciting. So I don't know that I would recommend it. I would recommend it in terms of it being like a great deal. Also, maybe you're here on one of those random cold days that are few and far between. Then I would be like, sure, ramen. Like get that. But it's definitely not a go out of your way to seek it sort of a thing. Like I will go out of my way. Like there is a ramen place in Pasadena that I really like, that I will literally go out of my way if I'm ever in that area of California, that I'm like, okay, and Domo, I think, is one of those places I go out of my way. This, I'd just be like, if it's there, it's there, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think it would be bad if that's what you're in the mood for, but it's not going to be the thing you're dreaming about.
Can I
Yeah.
throw something out there? You can get not that exact ramen, but other ramens from the outdoor walk up for $12, $14, or $18. So you can get a little bit cheaper outside
Oh, that's interesting.
if it's chilly.
I think
that one
outside
time.
you can get bao too, which you
Oh, goodness.
can't get inside.
Yep.
I don't believe, and that's where I'm like, I love bao, but
You
again,
can
that's
also
a street
get the
food.
ribs.
So
You ever been to King Bao, or is it Bao King?
yeah, I
Oh,
love
yes.
King Bao.
Yeah,
I
that's
think they
good.
might have just opened another place or moved or something because
Oh,
they're
really?
like got so popular. Yeah,
Oh.
they're very good.
There's
That-
one
They're
over
good.
by us.
yeah. Oh yeah, then they definitely did because it started on Mills.
Yeah, it started
Yeah,
on
like
Mills,
the
and there's
one
one
on
over by
Mills.
Waterford,
Yeah.
just up the road from Chibi.
Yeah,
Which
man,
I'm
you got a
probably-
lot of in Waterford Lakes. If you're ever out that way by taking someone to go see
Yeah.
UCF or something like that, there are a lot of really good restaurants out that way now.
There's
Not
the
while I was at UCF, unfortunately.
crunchy Korean cheese, Korean corn dogs. Oh my God, those are so good.
Oh, don't tempt me,
don't.
Ryno.
Okay, we need.
Oh,
yeah.
love me some
Uh-oh.
Korean cheese. And it's right next to, where's the place you got the crumble cookies right next door to?
Oh, I don't usually go to Crumble that often,
No?
but thank you for thinking of me.
She's become the Chloe's crumble cookie.
Oh,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm more of a Gideon's girl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
think Disney needs to invest in some Korean corn dogs somewhere on property is all I'm going to say.
Take one of those
My
food
money.
trucks outside
so good.
Springs.
For real. So, okay, I'm not going to make everyone do numbers for this episode just because I feel like, a little post and after the thing. But I just want to know, I'm going to go around. We'll start with Hannah, then Teresa, then Chloe. I just want to know, your feelings. Like we said, we'd eaten there before. Did this influence you one way or another? Would you return, and would you recommend it? Hannah. Hit
Yeah,
us.
I definitely would recommend it. I think it's definitely more of a special occasion restaurant if you're not ordering off the lunch menu. So I like the idea of going for lunch. I like the idea of sharing some things to make it just a little bit more affordable maybe. And then also I like the idea of ordering from the walk-up window when it's cooler outside because it is all outdoor seating and it's hot eating ramen outside in Florida in July. So yeah, I would absolutely go. I think the Burry Bop, I've had that before. It's fantastic. The duck is awesome. You can share that with 2, maybe even 3 people.
Yeah, it's a lot of food.
Yeah. And I would get the ribs. Absolutely. Even though I love sushi, I feel like I would pass on that just because it is expensive and it's
crazy too because they have the sushi bar upstairs.
Yeah.
And there's somebody so that's where I'm like, it's kind of sad because you'd be like, if you came for that, I don't know that I would ever go for that.
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, so I would definitely recommend that, and then the sake that we had. So the sake sangria.
Also, I do just want to point it out. I did look it up. I did send it to every one of you here.
Oh,
it
for the
was
record.
at the bowl. I was worried I misspoke. It is a dulcet bibimbap at in this Korean place in Plymouth, Massachusetts. If you're ever there, it's called Koji. Go there. Highly
Bitty bitty
recommend it.
bum bum.
I don't know what that was. Teresa, what about you? How did this influence you? Would
It's a
you go
song.
back?
I will
you
go
get it
back.
again?
I do recommend it to people, but I do tell them, like Hannah said, I would do it. It would be a special occasion.
Yeah.
So if you're with your family, I was thinking back when our family went. It was there were 6 of us, and it came in right under $300.
Yeah.
So it was a little on the pricey side, but it was our one splurge for the time we were at Disney all together that time, and I think it's comparable to other places because any place you're going to go with your family and you're going to order multiple things and you've got more than 4 people, even more than 2 people at all, it's going to be pricey because you're at Disney. But I think it's well worth it, and I would definitely go back and get my beloved Burry Bop.
Well, and now you have a new item that you'd like to order again, which is the sake sangria. So
Yeah.
there
I've
you
had
go.
that before.
Oh, show off.
Oh,
Just-
okay.
Yeah, it was good. I will order it again.
What about you, Chloe?
Yeah, I would recommend it, especially the idea of lunching hours, like taking advantage of those lunch combos, because that seems like a better bang for your buck. There are so many places to eat in Disney Springs. I don't know if this would make my top 3 or 5 even. But if you are wanting to try out this type of menu, I'd recommend it. It's pretty tasty. Don't miss those ribs, and the sangria is really good. And I would get Hannah's dish as well, the pork katsu cutlet.
I
That's
think
good.
I kind of echo the sentiments of everybody, what they said. I definitely think it's a nice special occasion if you're looking to take somebody out for a fun dinner that's a little, like a little more like you can dress up. We said that sort of a thing. I have done it before. There were also desserts there that we didn't talk about, but those change and rotate and things like that. And since we were there for lunch, I felt like it was a little much to do that. And then we went and bought marshmallows after, but whatever. And
And ice cream.
and ice cream. Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. I forgot. We were just eating all day. But yeah, so I'd recommend it. I think it is a classy place. I think there are some fun food items there that I think even for picky eaters like Teresa had mentioned or people who are specific eaters, we'll call them, that there's a little bit for everybody to kind of try on this menu there. So I do think it has a good breadth in terms of the offerings and everything. And so yeah, we'd recommend it. We'd also love to hear what everybody else thinks about it as well. So if you are watching this on YouTube, if you want to leave some comments, and while you're there, if you want to click that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, you'll get notified whenever we publish new content. If you are listening to this podcast, please feel free to rate and review this podcast whenever you get that opportunity. I just want to say thank you to everybody in the room for a nice lunch and joining me. Thank you, everybody out there, for listening and watching. And that is going to do it for this week's episode of the Disney Dining Show. But we'll be back back for more soon enough. Remember, stay hungry. Yummy, yummy.